My name is Nathanael Morton, and I am a sports performance coach who specializes in basketball players.
Okay, great. So my name is Nathanael Morton, and right now I'm 30 years old. I guess my fitness journey started, way back when I was just a kid. I was always into sports. I played baseball, I played football, basketball. But then I pretty much just veered towards basketball, and I spent all my time with basketball from, about age 12 all the way up until college. So it started early with college, but I didn't start actually lifting weights until I was 18 years old. And that's actually when I became the best basketball player, that I ever was, and was when I actually started training. But after basketball, so I played 4 years in high school, and then I played 2 years in college, and that was for a junior college here in Pittsburgh. And then I transferred to Slippery Rock University, which is here in Pennsylvania, and I didn't make the team, which was kind of a slap in the face, but I hadn't been training. I had a summer job and I hadn't been working out all summer. And then I went and I did the tryouts and I didn't make the team, which was very eye-opening. But looking back on it, I wasn't training. I really didn't deserve to make that team. But when I didn't make the team, I got into bodybuilding. So I was still training, I was still lifting, but it was more hypertrophy based, time under tension. I was trying to get big muscles as opposed to being athletic, So I did bodybuilding for a couple of years. I actually did 2 bodybuilding competitions. In my first competition, I literally got last place. And then my second competition, I got first place. And I was in my class. So there's different classes for bodybuilding. I got first place in my class. But I was I basically at that time, my goal was to be the best bodybuilder in the world. And I was, researching it, and I was looking at the best guys, and most of the best guys, not all of them, but most of the best guys in the sport use, performance enhancing drugs and steroids. So, and I wasn't willing to use steroids or, PEDs. So I decided that, my bodybuilding career is never going to blossom. I'll never be the best if I'm not willing to do that. So then I kind of went towards the training route. And I was like, what, if I can't be in the NBA, I might as well train other people to become the best basketball players that they can be. Because basketball was always my first love, and then basically I did training, and I was a gym teacher for 5 years while I worked on my side business, which was, online coaching and YouTube and just coaching people with vertical jump and how to become better at basketball altogether. And then after 5 years, my side business, YouTube and the training became bigger and overcame my teaching job. So I quit teaching, and now I'm doing this full time. And, I'm 30 years old, and some people get to 30 and they freak out. I got to 30 and I'm like, wow, I'm actually living my dream now. My 20s, it was kind of like I was trying to find myself. 30 years old, man, I'm doing what I love every single day. And I'm training people, I'm helping people unleash their full potential. So that's where I am right now. And I'm still on my own vertical jump journey, but that's just a little bit about me.
All right, bro. That sounds good. Really, really inspiring, bro. Been following you a while now. We've communicated, we've been talking back and forth. I've recovered from a knee injury because of your program and your guidance, which means your program is foolproof. I've tried it with other persons. I've introduced them to some of the exercises you have shown me, and it is a process, and there's always room for improvement. There's always growth happening, always things taking place. So talk about your training programs, and I am trying to actually be a mediator or a middle person to bring your programs here, as I'm a basketball specialist too. I love basketball more than anything in the world. Actually had to stop playing for a while until, I met you and we started, talking about my injury and where I needed to be. And believe me, within a year, I am in the best shape of my life now. I'll be 41 next month. And I'm playing better basketball and jumping higher and being stronger now than when I was in my 20s, which I thought was my best years. But now I realize there are a lot of things that were lacking. As you said, my training was more geared towards hypertrophy also, even though I wasn't doing bodybuilding, but I wasn't athletic training. So I was losing out on a lot. My tendons were always inflamed. I was never getting enough rest. So I got an injury that I thought was life changing because I thought I would have been out of sport the rest of my life, which I was getting older because I was already in my 30s, which most athletes basically start sitting down and drinking and having fun. I was still in the mindset of playing, but then because of the injury, I was set back. You, on the other hand, gave me, a second boost with your training program. So tell the people about your training program and what it offers, and just give them an overview of what your training program is about.
Okay, so I actually have a few different training programs. But whenever, let's say somebody comes to me and they say, "Hey, I want you to coach me to the next level," there's a whole bunch of questions that I need to ask first, right? It's, do you have any injuries? Do you have any knee pain? Do you have any lower back pain? And then it's, do you have access to equipment? Do you have a full gym with a squat rack, dumbbells, resistance bands, or are you using body weight? How old are you? How long have you been training? What have you been doing previously? Have you been doing, weights and plyometrics? So I have a lot of programs, but basically people come to me, they say, I want you to take me to the next level. And then after I ask all those questions, I can get a better feel of what training will be better or what training would be best for that individual. But let's say we're starting from the bottom. So if we're starting from the bottom, then I'll put you through a knee strengthening phase. And it's essentially to get your knees right, but it's just so low in loading and low in impact and high in rehabbing that really no matter what injury you have, that's going to be a low level program that's going to bring you up. Right. And then after that, we get into a jump program, my Beyond the Rim 2 vertical jump program. And that's like a building phase. And then the phase after that is a max strength phase. And then we go through a speed strength phase and then a peaking. And then after that, we'd probably repeat with, another building phase, max strength, speed strength, peaking, just constantly going up and up, making sure that we're becoming explosive, but also that we are repairing your tendons at the same time.
Okay, sounds good, bro. Definitely good. And the thing is, your programs are very specific. Your programs basically break everything down. You have a lot of the good thing, and I'm sharing this because I want people to check it out for themselves also. You always have videos showing the different exercises, showing from the basics through the advanced, and it brings about clarity, brings about transparency. People can see what they're buying or seeing what they're getting, and you offer a lot of free programs and free advice on your channel, and people sometimes may not want to buy a full program, and you give them the option of getting something whether they buy it or not. And that's important because not everybody wants to spend the money on the entire program. Maybe they just need a few things, and you offer. The first time I actually got anything when it came to you was when you offered that free jump program, when you said time jump together free jump program. And when I
Yeah.
went through the program, being a physical education specialist myself, the program was literally flawless at the time. And that was when you just started. You didn't even start doing the whole train heroic and everything as yet. And I was like, yo, this program is crazy. And then I remember when I got the injury, and I was like, I was lost, and I was like, listen, I'm just gonna go. We didn't even know each other. Then I'm like, I'm just gonna try, and I just messaged you to say, listen, I'm having an injury. I play basketball, and I don't know what to do with it. And trust me, you were very professional, and getting to know you over the time frame is like each time we communicate is like you're more and more knowledgeable because you're always keeping up to date. You're always trying new things, and the good thing is you try these with yourself before you offer them to people, and that's always the benchmark when it comes to a great trainer or coach. So what I want to know is, or what I want everyone to know is, where are you? Where are your goals now? What bigger plans do you have for Nathanael Morton going forward, and your training in terms of being a specialist or professional basketball or fitness coach or strength coach?
Yeah, so there's a few things that I have, cooking up for the future. The first one is, you've mentioned like when you get into my programs, there's exercise demonstrations, and right now I am working on. So I have about 10 programs total, depending on what people want or need, and I'm working on creating all new exercise demonstrations with explanations on why each exercise is in there and what it does and how to do it properly. So I do have exercise demonstrations right now, but I'm constantly making the program better. And I asked myself the other day, am I ever going to be done like making these programs better? And I don't know if I am, because you go through my program and somebody who did the coaching 3 months ago, they come back and they ask for the same program, and they're like, well, there's some stuff that's different. And I'm like, that's because I'm learning every day, and I'm constantly updating these programs and making them better. So what you saw 3 months ago was good, but this next program is a little bit more updated. But in terms of the future, I want all 10 of my programs to be completely flawless, like just perfect programs with full explanations on why everything is there. But physically here in Pittsburgh, I would like to open a gym, like a fitness center with 3 basketball courts, a full weight room, so I can start to train a few more athletes in person. Because right now I'm a high school basketball coach, and to be honest with you, it's the high school that I personally went to, and it's low income area. So the opportunity that the kids at my high school have is less than opportunities in some of the more well-off schools. So I'm asking myself, how can I, like, these teams are beating us? I'm like, how can I make my athletes as good as these other athletes? And really, the answer is, like, I think I need to open up a fitness program or a gym, big gym, where I can bring these kids in and really teach them from a young age to be the best basketball players that they can be. And just teach them about mindset and fitness and performance in general. So that's honestly my next step. Is I'm trying to do well enough with the YouTube and the training that I can open my own gym here for underprivileged kids here in Pittsburgh.
That is awesome, bro. That is awesome because those are similar ideas to what I have. Also, I want to open a high performance center for athletes in general, because then there are certain aspects of training that are neglected when it comes to athletes, and especially the recovery part. People neglect the recovery, and recovery, when people hear recovery, they always think about injury and not recovery from an actual exercise, because stretching and rehabilitation doesn't necessarily mean the person is injured. And that's where a lot of coaches and fitness trainers and different persons along the line of physical education, they miss that recovery is bringing the body back to a state of normality. It's not just because you're injured why you need to recover. Because then when the muscles are torn, when you get micro tears or any form of fatigue, you need to recover. So, being a physical educator, being a trainer, being an athlete, they all tie in together, and everybody needs to be on, a similar page so that things can flow better. Because sometimes the athletes don't know why. Like, I'm a coach, I like to explain everything. There may be another coach that doesn't explain. So athletes sometimes consider training as punishment. Because when I was growing up as an athlete, I used to consider a lot of training as punishment because I didn't know what it was for. They just say, listen, go do 10 50-meter sprints or 60-meter sprints, or some 150-meter, and then you feel a lot of pain, you get extremely fatigued, you feel like your heart is going to jump out, but then you don't know the real reason for doing them until you actually get to a level where you're more educated, and you have an open mind, that you want to read and understand the body more. You do anatomy, physiology, kinesiology, different subject areas. Then you realize that, oh, that's what they were trying to teach you. But then at this point, it's a little late, because a lot of us were scarred mentally from, training sessions. You're doing suicides, and you're just doing suicides because you got to training late, or you missed the free throw, or, so it's always affiliated or associated with punishment. So when I'm training athletes, even though I'll say, listen, you'll do push-ups if you miss the free throws, but I say the push-ups is not a form of punishment. It's just to strengthen your arm. It helps you to concentrate more, because if your arms get tired during the game, what you do when you're fresh in training is that the push-ups may give you a little fatigue, but then at least now you learn to steady your arms more, spend a little more time with your shot. You know, differently, but at least they have the idea in their head that it's not that they're punishing them, because they're getting stronger. You're going to develop better muscular tone, endurance, strength, and so on. So, it's just for us as facilitators to make them more aware, of what is happening. So, where do you see Nathaniel Morton in the next, say, 5 to 10 years? As a trainer, as a coach, as a basketball coach, possibly, going to the NBA. Where do you see yourself in the next 5?
Yeah, I so in 5 to 10 years, I see myself, gym. So definitely that, and I would like to be working out of that gym every day instead of my apartment here, because I love this apartment. But my girlfriend is kind of like, she wants to get a house, and she likes the gym in the house. But like, this is our living room. Like this right here with this dumbbell rack. Like, this was supposed to be our living room with the TV and everything like that. And I was like, that's not our living room. That got to be our gym, because I got to do my YouTube videos. So essentially, I would really like to have my own space, which is a big gym, basketball courts, the fitness center, a recovery room, a sauna, like all that type of stuff. But I would say, for my programs, I would like to have a lot more athletes in my program. So right now I have about 200 athletes that I coach. Um, and I would really like to get that up to, like, 1,000 athletes around there. But what else? My I would like to, my coaching for my high school basketball, I would like to take that to the next level, because I don't think this was my first year as a high school basketball coach. So I feel like I did well, but there's just so much for me to learn when it comes to, coaching in general. And I do have the background of being a teacher, so I understand how to build rapport with the kids, explain things well to the kids. And I understand that if I tell one of these athletes to do something in the game and they don't do it, it's not their fault. It's my fault. Either I didn't explain it well enough, or I didn't explain it, is with enough repetition that even when they're in the panic of a game in that high stress situation, like, they need to still be able to do that. So understanding that that's on me, that if an athlete is not doing what I tell them to do, it's not that athlete. It's you as the coach have responsibility on how you can, explain that better, or give enough repetition for them to do that in the game. But I definitely want to take my coaching skills to the next level. And I also, one other thing that I've been thinking about doing is creating a platform for other trainers and coaches. And, so my YouTube channel is mainly for basketball players in general, how to take your game to the next level. But I would like to have a platform where I can take coaches' game to the next level and trainers' game, and just teach them, everything that I know about training and coaching and building a business and building a YouTube channel and, marketing and all that type of stuff. So I would say that's probably within the next 5 to 10 years. Those are my major goals.
Okay, bro, that sounds good. Sounds good. This is really, really one of the best days I've had all year, because we've been talking about doing a collaboration for a while, and it just came to me that, we haven't been in the same space as yet, but hopefully this summer we'll be doing, because I still got to take you one on one on that basketball court. Um, I got 11 years on you, but my feet are still moving good thanks to you. Um, this vlog was really good. Really enjoy talking to you all the time, sharing, watching your videos, just seeing you do your thing from where you are, and, inspiring me as a younger person to take my game to another level, because you're where I want to be right now. Doing what I love just on its own. Nobody telling me when. I'm setting my rules and making sure that, I'm paving the way for my future as a coach, as a trainer, as a fitness person. So It's been going good. I've gotten I'm at level one in my massage therapy certification. I have my strength training certifications already. I'm still trying to get more certifications because I want to be, more marketable. Basketball, I'm a basketball coach certified. I still want to do, the FIBA basketball certification. So, when I go at the international level, if I needed, I have my certification. So I wouldn't have to be sent back to school to get certain things done. Um, my ultimate aim is to work overseas, US possibly, as a trainer, maybe for a professional team, no matter the sport, because I like working with athletes, and athletes are the same no matter the sport. The base work is usually the same. It's just when it comes to specific training methods for the different sporting areas where it's a little more tricky. But in terms of the strength development, a lot of the sports, the base work are the same. But definitely was a good chat, bro. And definitely, we always keep in touch, always supporting each other and want to see the best for each other. So the next vlog, all being well, should be in Pennsylvania. So we
Yeah,
should definitely be linking up this summer, making it happen, bro, for sure.
yeah, I'm looking forward to that for sure.
Yep. So thank you again, Nathaniel. We definitely catch up. Definitely keep positive, keep growing. I always want the best for you, and we'll have another vlog soon. All right?
Okay, great. Thanks for talking to me.
Definitely, bro. Thanks.